Hello, true art believers, and welcome to tonight's live art stream. This is Pierson here. I hope you are having a wonderful night. And as I said, we're gonna do something new. We're gonna do something new today. We're gonna be practicing and exploring the idea of drawing. Gosh, oh my gosh, let's reverse that. We're going to be talking about the drawing fundamentals. We're going to be talking about drawing fundamentals, and more specifically, we're going to be discussing the idea or concept of form. And so we're going to be working on that today. And it's basically going to be exploring simple shapes. So we're really going to be doing kind of like a just protracted, prolonged version of my drawing warm up session, and kind of discussing how I can go, how you can push those forms further. So basically, it's going to be circles, cylinders, ellipses, yeah, all that kind of fun jazz. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and that's about it. I'm going to be drawing for about 30 minutes, kind of explaining my process and so forth. So let's begin. Alrighty then. So, so what we're gonna be doing today is we're just gonna do some warm ups first, and we're gonna practice the idea of drawing form. And basically, what that's gonna help us do is understand structure. And as you will see in the future versions of this, um, what'd you call it? Like, would it be like education, or would it be more like entertainment? In future versions of this live stream, I'm gonna get more elaborate with this concept, but this is gonna be the first time I'm talking about it. So I'm gonna be like stumbling and fumbling my way through it as I navigate through like the right words to kind of explain what I'm thinking and explain the visual things that are going on here. So basically, we're just going to get a color here, and we're going to start out with what I've been doing this whole time, which has been drawing circles. So let's start out by just drawing some circles here, and we're going to practice this idea of just forms. And it's not like it's actually boring stuff, really. You know, Here's something funny. Like, this is what I wanted to do for a while. I've been thinking about it, and now I'm already having issues. It's kind of like what I'm finding is I need to kind of write out like it's going to have to be like a lesson plan, actually. So like this idea, these concepts I'm going to explore are going to be they're going to work twofold. They're going to help me improve because I'm not like I don't know what I am. I'm kind of like basic. I'm not like an expert in anything. I'm just kind of decent at like everything. Not decent at everything, but like I'm just like decent, at doing certain things. Like these circles are kind of getting kind of off here. I need to kind of get back here. So we're just going to be warming up here, and it basically for like 15 minutes, it's going to be nothing but warm ups, and you're just going to see me do these circles here. I would have my students do this over and over again, and I don't think they liked it. I thought they thought it was kind of like repetitive, right? And I don't know why. Oh, I know why they didn't like it, because it is really quite boring. It's a these circles right here, as you can see, they're getting like really bad on this side. As I get further to the right side, they get real bad. This one was my best one, and now as I'm doing more and more, you know, the quality has gone down, and I'm focusing on quantity, but I really need to be focusing on the quality of the circle, right? And then it's going to transfer over to being allowing me to do more quantity. So we're just going to do this page here of circles here, and we're going to do another, not another page, but we're just going to do a page of circles here and then practice that. And hopefully I might be doing this more and more often, especially on the days that I work on form and form alone. So this has been a very enlightening, like, just first try at kind of pivoting with my live art stream. I'm still gonna do Pokemon, but that's gonna be relegated to like Saturday, and I'm still gonna do my cactus drawings, but that's gonna be relegated to Sunday. So I'm gonna be doing Pokemon and cactuses Saturday and Sunday. But the other days, like today, are gonna be spent kind of um pursuing like art concepts or drawing concepts in hopes that it's going to improve my overall ability as an artist. And also, maybe it'll be like a double whammy where I'm actually kind of teaching a little bit. So now we're hitting ellipses and I'm doing them horizontally. So that's basically, if you think a horizon is, you ever know what a horizon line? That's where like the eye line is. That's where like the sun comes up, and right, that's the sun. Look at that sun right there. So we're doing these ellipses horizontally. We're gonna do, like, I don't know, maybe a page, maybe not. Right? It's all very subjective. I'm just kind of playing around with the concept here. Um, and wow, my horizontal ellipses are trash. They're bad. So that's more of a reason for me to practice doing ellipses. This always, I think I needed to be doing this, and this is actually a thing that every artist should probably do, especially when they're first starting off. Like even me, like I wouldn't say I'm no spring chicken, right? Like I'm pretty decent at drawing, and I'm kind of finding out that like I'm very rough around the edges with just like the basics, and I think maybe this will and help me in two ways by being able to explain it. I'm able to teach it to some degree, and also it's going to improve my own ability. So we're just going to do some horizontal ones. Might as well do the whole page, right? Or at least kind of do the whole page. They're not really bunched up like the ones that the circles were, and these are really rough, right? You just want to practice the motion, because a lot of art is basic forms that you repeat over and over again. And I'm very weak at them right now. And so now we're going to do vertical ellipses. My vertical ellipses are a little bit better, I think. I might do a whole page. I might not. Wow, these are rough. And you want to when you're doing these, don't worry about them being great. Your goal is to try to make them better each time, and so forth. Now, what I'm struggling with is because I'm drawing on a tablet, my ability to do simple shapes is a little hindered. I don't even think I have, what's it called? There's a feature on Photoshop. I think it's called smoothing, where where Photoshop like smooths out your lines, because the tablets tend to be a little bit overly sensitive. So we're just going to do some ellipses here. Let's do the whole page. Why not? Like, it's going to take another 2 minutes. I'm going to be doing, and for like the next 15 minutes or so after that, I'm just going to be kind of talking about forms. And this is going to dictate my my next week on what I'm going to kind of talk about with regards to um, this concept, right? Because I really didn't talk about this stuff, in my actual teaching. I I more so talked about how my first like things that I wanted the students to kind of do was get the ability to see, like to see like objects and to like be able to not to understand where to place still life objects in on their paper because it's basically visual measuring to some degree. But yeah, so we're gonna do this. I'm telling you what, I have to change the way I'm drawing. So if the drawings get a little bit weaker right now, it's because my wrist hurts, yo. It hurts. It's starting to get in like I'm getting a little bit of carpal tunnel. Oh wow. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna change. I'm changing the way that I'm holding the pencil. That's gonna like reduce the motion in my wrist or try to because I'm getting some major carpal tunnel. So we got cylinders. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of practice some lines here. I don't know why. We're just gonna do some lines. Why not? Let's do some lines here. What I'm gonna do is I'm even gonna practice going up and down, 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 up, down, 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 that down, 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 down. So basically just drawing up and down. And the reason why is I'm making my I'm making it difficult for my hand to get used to these lines by purposely drawing up and down every other time, switching the direction that I make the straight line. I kind of create a new neural pathway for the lines to be drawn. And I want to be able to draw a straight line from any angle, essentially. So we're going to do some horizontal lines here. Let's gotta go. I'm going to go left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. These are not that good. Right, left, right, left. Wow, these are bad. My horizontal lines are not that good, actually. So I really need to practice this. They're like kind of shaky. Wow. They kind of like wave. Look how bad that is. Woo, these are rough lines. But like these are much straighter than my horizontal lines. I'm also trying to go a little bit faster than normal. Or not normal, but like just kind of go faster. And I think that's it for now for that. And I think we've kind of got um, to what I need to be doing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically combine ellipses and sphere circles to create spheres or yeah, spheres. So let's just start out by drawing some circles here. Ah, wow. Or try to draw the circle. And then we're going to draw an ellipse, right? Oh, wow. These are rough. These are rough drawings. Oh, my goodness. I can't draw at all. Ah, that's terrible. So we're going to draw a circle here, and then we're going to add an ellipse. And notice how bad that is. And that's the thing. That's what you want to be doing. You want to acknowledge where your weak points are at. And I apparently have a major weak, like some major flaws in my ability as an artist. And hopefully through time and practice and getting that training in, I'll get better at this. I'm really weak at doing these shapes on a tablet, especially when I'm doing them very rather quickly. I can kind of get away with it on a with pencil and a charcoal pencil because I'm able to kind of feel the surface of the paper, and I have better understanding of line pressure on on those surfaces. So typically, I'm a little bit better in that regard. So that's why I'm going to be doing this more often, and it's going to be a regular occurrence. It's not going to be it's not going to be my go-to. Like this is not going to be the format next week. This is just going to be a jump. This is a jumping into the idea of form and basically doing some studies and so forth, and just practicing. We're just practicing over and over again. You're not always going to have good drawings, and even your demos are not always going to be perfect or nail in because you're trying to push yourself as well. And oh my gosh, these live streams are tiring me. I'm getting fatigued. No, know what? It's like it's a mental ballet. I thought that I had enough energy for the day to do this, but no, like I'm finding that I'm like my eyes are shutting on me. Like I'm literally about to fall asleep again. Wow. Oh gosh. So what this means here is what I'm learning is if you're tired and fatigued, your output is going to be bad. Like these are not good. I'm going to give these a 3 out of 10 because like I think these are bad and I'm pretty good at drawing when I need to be, but I just can't seem to make things click at the moment. I'm really focusing on just kind of being I'm really just kind of focusing on trying to stay awake, to be honest with you. That's what I'm focusing on. It's like how can I just stay awake here, you know? And that's what I'm kind of focusing on. All right. Do, 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 do. All right. So now that we played around with spheres or pokeballs, we're going to take that and we're going to practice some cylinders, very basic cylinders at the moment, using the ellipses that we practiced earlier and the vertical lines, right? Just practicing cylinder shapes, getting acquainted with them. And what you see me doing is I'm doing a lot of this um like over and over motion where I'm repeating the motion over and over and over and over and over again. That has some utility there. It's not like just I'm doing that to be like redundant. It's really it's practicing. It's like you're you're building up a a muscle memory log, right? So that you can be able to recreate that line or that curve over through time, right? And so that's why I'm doing it. And also, it's also a way to kind of like course correct in real time, right? Where you see it kind of coming off. You see maybe you're like what I mean by course correct is like what say what you're doing like something like this, like that. Oh no, my lines are going crazy, and then you're able to kind of adjust and get a more precise line or more clean version of that ellipse or form there. So this is just one of those days where one of those things where you have to practice, and we're going to get into more elaborate things as I spend more time on these ideas. But this is just a first kind of like a dipping my toes in the water type of thing, and we're just going to practice some more here. these are pretty rough. These are rough. These are rough ellipses here. I'm not too proud. Not too proud of these. All right, so now let's move ahead, and we're going to go ahead and just we're going to start out by just playing around with boxes, okay? And that's what I'm going to do today. We're just going to start out with playing around with boxes, and then maybe I'll have an explanation of it for next week. But today is simply just playing around with forms, playing around with shapes, and not really having a concern for the outcome. It's just a giant practice session in all its in its entirety, essentially. So, without even talking about like the vanishing points and so forth, we're just gonna basically make lines that kind of taper off as they go away from the viewer. And that's going to act as a blasting off point for your perspective. So every line is going to kind of taper. And what I mean by tapers, these back lines are going to be shorter than the front lines here. And so we're just going to play around with that idea like this. What might help is some people like to draw the boxes like this, where they have the lines kind of drag out like that. So this is what it's all about. Just kind of like practicing um simple boxes, simple forms, and then we'll jump into something more complex as we go along. I really I didn't I kind of jumped every time I do one of these live streams. I hate saying it. Every time I do one of them, I'm always doing it without a heading, doing it without like a guide, without a plan. And I'm going to take this as a learning experience, and I'm going to come up with something a little bit better for next week, because this is going to be something I'm going to be doing for the next foreseeable future, or at least for for like the next 40 days. And look, that's a very bad one, and that's okay. It's okay to have a bunch of lemons from time to time. It's been a while since I've drawn boxes and shapes and all kinds of stuff, and I need to kind of basically get back into it to basically make myself a better artist. I'm very I've gotten kind of lax in my later artist years. I'm like, I don't really need to do any of this stuff anymore. So I need to kind of get back into it and practice them and become a stud again, right? Become a drawing stud, basically. Anyways, just kind of playing around here. Oh, these are terrible. It's something about like I can't seem to draw crisp lines like I can on a piece of paper, and because like the tablet's too sensitive, and that's just me making an excuse to why I can't draw straight lines. But I'm gonna stick to it until I get to that point, until it becomes so the lines become so like uh good. Make that into a box maybe. Whew, 25 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm already done for the day. I don't really feel like doing much more. Alrighty, so we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing more blocks. Let's just kind of do like a longer block, like a longer block. And what I'm gonna do here is just gonna add, this simple like a skyscraper type shape here, and so forth. Then maybe something like that. Blocks on blocks. My like ability to draw lines digitally is really kind of terrible. That's why you saw me do that exercise where I'm doing this. It shouldn't be this bad, but apparently it's quite bad. No excuse, no excuse, no excuse. Sit down. I'm gonna sit down and think about this later on, ponder. So the main point of doing this is just to get used to the idea of drawing shapes, you know, and how you're gonna be able to apply those later on to to more complex shapes, more complex objects. And so that's what I'm gonna be thinking about doing, or what I'm gonna study and pursue with regards to this. And there's no like right or wrong way to do pursue this right now. We're just kind of practicing these ideas, and we're kind of trying to just, yeah, we're just playing around and get to the point where what I mean, like when I say plays, you want to play when you're doing drawing, because that plays where you're in this situation where it's slightly challenging, but it's not so challenging that it's uh it's becoming not fun, right? So I'm I would like to think that when I'm doing these shapes, I'm kind of in a sense of like, what am I in the sense of like, I'm kind of, I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know how I was going to try to articulate this idea. I'm just I'm about halfway. My foot's halfway in the bed, right? Yeah. I don't know where I was going to go with that. I think where you're not overly challenging yourself, where you're not straining your abilities. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm basically, I'm kind of like going at my net default. Like I'm defaulting to this. I'm not really thinking, and I don't think I'm even trying to an extent. I'm kind of trying, but I'm not. If that makes any sense, I'm putting in effort, but I'm not putting in that max effort that I need to really um, improve, or to really tighten up these forms. So these are just playing. I'm just playing around at this point. Anyways, that is it for the day. I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. This is Pierson. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about perspective, and I'm going to have to tone it down. I think we're going to talk about one point perspective. Yeah, and we're basically going to be doing one point perspective. We'll be doing cubes. That's it. That is it. We're not going to be doing anything fancy that for that. We're not going to be doing anything fancy. Just going to do one point perspective. So like P22 day 367. And then yeah, we're going to be doing 1 point perspective and exploring the simplicity of doing cubes and rectangular shapes in 1 point perspective. And I hope to see you there. I got to get going. This is Pierson. I wish you a wonderful day. Cheers. Let me find this button here. And cheers. Good night.